Hello everyone and welcome back to our blind let's play. Thanks for Ace Attorney Trials and Tribulations. My name is FlightlessBird, this is your story-based gaming channel, and today, my friends, I believe we are going to be completing the first trilogy. Maybe. Because you just get the feeling you're getting close, you know? And in this instance, in this case, I kind of got stuck here because I wasn't really sure what is going on. And Green River recommended, hey, you know, if someone was trying to clean up for her sake, why would the killer have left this item behind? And instantly I'm thinking, okay, that's got to be the crying master talisman here. But I think there's a more better piece of evidence to use, and that is if they were trying to help her out, why did they erase the name Maya from the stone lantern? And the only thing I can think of right now is because this person couldn't see the name because the name was written in red. So what does this mean? Does this mean that Godo is the actual killer? But if so, why did Godo want to continue the case when he could have gotten off without persecution? I mean, even Maya said, Mia said that, Enter Zero pointed that out. Mia asked, are you sure you want to go through with this, prosecutor? It doesn't make a lot of sense. Why would he have done this? Hopefully we can get some answers, but I think this is the answer. And it is. The body of Elise de Unim was carried all the way to Hazakura's temple's courtyard. Then at the garden, the real scene of the crime. The snow that we suspect was covered in blood was scooped up and removed. It's reasonable to believe all this was done in an attempt to hide the true crime scene. However, there's still one matter that seems somewhat odd. Oh, and what would that be? You must have figured it out by now, Mr. Godo. It's the message written on blood on the lantern. Oh, the exclamated dots. It was written very clearly on the white stone lantern. Maya. Ah! If the killer was so motivated to protect Maya from suspicion, then why did they wipe the writing off the lantern? You're right. Order. But Mr. Wright, isn't it a fact that the killer was trying to cover up the crime scene? Indeed, but it doesn't make much sense to move the body and remove the bloody snow. Did not wipe off the most incriminating thing of all, the bloody writing. Objection! But if that's the case, do you have an explanation for the killer's mysterious behavior? Why would this killer move the body and remove all the snow, but then leave the bloody writing on the lantern? I don't know what the killer's plan was, but it's a fact that the killer left the writing on the lantern. There must be a reason for it. Well then, Mr. Wright, let's hear your opinion. Why did the killer leave the message written in blood on the lantern? It's because the killer didn't notice it. Prosecutor Godo, earlier in this trial, you gave me some good advice. Once you eliminate the impossible, whatever remains must be the truth. Maybe you're not as dumb as I thought. The real killer wanted to disguise the fact that a crime had occurred there. If that's the case, they wouldn't have left the bloody writing on the stone lantern on purpose. Therefore, it must mean that they didn't notice it. But that doesn't make any sense. The torches were all lit and everything. There's no way any normal person could miss something as glaring as that. You're right. There is no way any normal person would. What? What are you trying to say, Mr. Wright? There's only one person involved in this incident who could have seen the bloody writing altogether. And who would that be? Who is the person that could have failed to notice the bloody writing? Mr. Godo, this is what you said yesterday. My eyesight is pretty messed up. Even with these huge goggles over my head, I still can't see everything. You can't see everything? Is that correct, Mr. Goodo? Oh, the dots. This lantern was submitted as evidence today. I would like the court to think back to the moment it was first presented. Oh, this lantern. There's something written on it. Why? It's written in blood. Nonsense. This lantern, it's as clean as a whistle. Mr. Kodo, just admit it. There are certain colors you can't see, correct? Oh, the dots. You can't see red on a white background, can you? That's right. We went through this once before. During the poisoning case at Tribulations. Yeah, the ketchup. This is the apron the delightful Miss Bird was wearing at the time. And somehow spilled coffee on. There's something still bothering me, Mr. Goodo. Why have you not explained the bloodstain to the court? The bloodstain? What bloodstain would that be? Well, don't play games, prosecutor. Blood-colored stain that's smeared all over the apron. Well, that's ridiculous. No one told me anything about the bloodstain. You could see the coffee on the white apron, but you couldn't see the ketchup because it was red. Oh, the dots. Huh. It's strange. In a black and white photo, these letters would have appeared black to me. I wonder, why am I the only one that can't see them? So then, Mr. Goodo, are you admitting it? Are you admitting that you can't see the red writing on the lantern? Hey, Gramps, didn't you know? That's the reason why I don't drink red tea. Yeah, that would be kind of weird. Although drinking red tea, is there such a thing as red tea? I wasn't sure about it until now, but I just can't believe it. Prosecutor Godo is a murderer, but there's no going back now. I finally figured out the truth. Mr. Godo, the defense at this time formally accuses you. You are the murderer of the Miss Elise Deonin, also known as Miss Misty Faye. Well, it's hard to believe this may be true. However, once again, Mr. Wright has brought up a disquieting fact about you. Huh. Just make sure you don't fill out the indictment in red ink, Gramps. Come on, how does the little graffiti make me into the killer? All the exclamated dots. Besides, it's not like it's my name that's written there. I am certain that the killer wasn't able to see the color red. But this is rich. Do go on, try it. The answer is right there at the crime scene. In the snow. The snow? How so? Well, for example, why did the killer move all that snow? Your Honor, you said it yourself. If you want to hide the bloody snow, why not take out just that area? Because you couldn't see the blood in that area. Yes, why didn't he just take out that area? Could it be? Yes, the killer couldn't see the red blood that had seeped into the snow. And so he had to remove all of the snow. Oh, that makes more sense now. He couldn't be sure of where the blood had landed, so he removed the whole area. Isn't it more likely that the killer couldn't see the blood because it was dark? Not a chance. The torches were all lit. He would have been able to see just fine. Oh, the dirt. It seems that once again this trial has taken an unexpected turn, to say the least. Yeah, to say the least. Can you explain this, Mr. Goodo? Why would he do this? And why is Maya protecting him? Wait, just a minute. He must have saved Maya's life. So he killed Elise in defense of Maya. And Maya believes that he saved her life. So it was more of, he's not a murderer. He's he's a defender of the weak. I mean, I guess he still killed someone, but the difference between kill and murder. I mean, when you're trying to protect someone, and Maya is Mia's younger sister, so for him to protect a girl that he loved, her sister, from dying, it makes perfect sense. Maya. What is it, witness? So he's not an evil person. But Mr. Godot isn't the killer. After all, he didn't even come to the inner temple until 2 days after the murder took place. He didn't show up until after that old bridge got fixed up.
Objection!
Maya. Oh, the exclamated dots. You can't testify to something like that. Why? What do you mean? I may not look it, but I'm... Eek! After the murder happened, you didn't even exist. She didn't? I'm afraid I don't follow. Are you senile, old man? We established this just a little while ago. After the murder, this witness was unconscious for a long time. Because she was channeling Dahlia Hawthorne. Oh, well that's right. But please, Your Honor, let me add to my testimony. Nick, please listen to me. All the dots. Maya. Do you plan to cover for Godot no matter what the cost? If that's the case, then I've got no choice. Your Honor, let's hear her testimony. If it means we're going to hear the whole truth, I say we should not silence her. Ha! Nicely done, Wright. Very well, well let's hear the witness's testimony. Please tell us what happened at the inner temple after the murder. Yes, sir. After I woke up, I began channeling and my spirit left me, as it were. But little Pearly was there at the inner temple too. Okay, I was about to say, that was weird. We didn't get this, witness testimony screen. After the incident. Pearly was also stuck on the inner temple side that night. The next morning, she looked around, but couldn't find anyone. The next day, when the bridge was finally fixed, she was in the spare prep room. Well, that's when Mr. Godot arrived at the inner temple for the first time. He found Pearly first and cheered her right up. Who is this, Pearly? Well, that's my little cousin, Pearl Faye. So when did you hear about this? Oh, just a while ago, when I was in the medical office. I'm terribly sorry, but what you heard from someone else is simply not admissible as testimony. What? Come on! Pearly would never tell a lie. She's a way more honest person than I'll ever be. Real smart, Maya. You always knew the best things to say when you're under oath. Ha! The prosecution has no objection. We believe the witness. Mr. Godot. Well, let's just move on to the cross-examination. The defense has no objections. This is highly unusual, but... Well, Mr. Wright... All the dots. Let's get this cross-examination started. The dots. Yeah, something called hearsay. You can't tell someone... You can't say that someone else said something. Pearly was also stuck on the inner temple side that night. So where do you think Pearl slept that night? In the spare prep room next to the training hall, I guess. There's a rule that you can't enter the training hall during the acolyte's training. But even so, why did she go to the inner temple in the first place? It seems that Pearls became very worried about Maya. She knew that the spiritual training I was about to undergo was very intense. Pearls was supposed to channel Dahlia Hawthorne, but she couldn't do it. That's why she headed to the inner temple. However, Dahlia Hawthorne was already there, possessing the body of Elise Deonim. The next morning, she looked around but couldn't find anyone. She searched the entire inner temple side, end to end. Well, you see, Pearly gets pretty scared when she's alone, and there weren't that many places to look. She says that even when she went back and forth several times. The inner temple side has two structures, the training hall and a spare prep room. And there's also a storage shack, I think. That's about it. There was a storage shack too. Pearls was looking for other people, right? Would she have really examined a storage shack all that carefully? All the dots. Well, it was me. That would be the first place I would investigate.
So that means it's possible that someone may have been hiding in the storage shack.
The next day, when the bridge was finally fixed, she was in the spare prep room. Pearls didn't hear the sound of them working on the bridge. What do you mean? I was just wondering why she would stay in the prep room. If it was me, I'd at least go out and wait at the foot of the bridge. Well, Pearlie said she was sleeping at the time. She said she was so scared during the night that she couldn't sleep well and woke up a bunch of times.
Poor little girl. All alone like that.
Well, we know that she had at least one friend, the secret cavern. Delia Hawthorne, who was busy battling with the trick lock. She couldn't let anyone see her, so she wouldn't have shown herself to Pearls. What happened after the bridge was finally fixed? That's when Mr. Godo arrived at the inner temple for the first time. So it was your first time on the inner temple side, Mr. Godo? Well, that's funny. Am I imagining things? So the defense asked me a question. Yes, one of your rules. Ask the witness. I know.
Mr. Wright, please save your questions for the witness.
What you heard from someone else is simply not admissible as testimony. Those are your words, Your Honor.
Oh, the nuts. Touché, Mr. Wright. Oh well. What do you have to say, Mr. Godo?
Hot nights and even hotter coffee. That's what I always say. If it hadn't been for this case, I never would have visited there. A freezing cold temple in the mountains. I think I'll pass. So he had never visited Hazakura Temple or the Inner Temple, huh? Ha! You want to say something, right? In any case, I had to find a crack in Godo's armor. Well, I cross-examined Maya, that is.
Very well, please go on with your testimony. After fixing the bridge, the policeman came over to the inner temple side, right?
Yes, then Mr. Godo. He found Pearlie first and cheered her right up. He cheered her up? Well, that's what Pearlie said. She said he was a very nice older gentleman. Thank you for looking after my cousin, Mr. Godo. See, there's just something here that's not making sense. I mean, there's a lot of things here making not sense, right?
And here I was thinking we're nothing more than a coffee addict.
Ha! Cut it out. You're making me blush. Yeah, I mean, it's just like, you know what I mean? This guy is really beginning to get on my nerves more than one. The truth is, there aren't many places to look on the inner temple side. The policemen were all busy going over the garden with fine-tooth combs. So I decided to carry out an investigation in my own way. Cadeau style.
I'm the same way. I like to hand down verdicts in my own way, judge style.
Maybe I should ask some questions, Phoenix style. Cheering Pearls up. I think it's the second one that I need to ask, but... So you cheered Pearls up? When I found that little girl, the first thing she asked me about was a cousin, Maya Faye. Really? The bridge had burned down and she was huddled up in the tiny shack with no heat. Even though she must have had a truly terrifying night out there. She asked about you before she said a thing about herself. But Pearlie? That does sound like Pearls. I noticed that you weren't anywhere on the inner temple side. But I couldn't find it in me to tell her that. So I gave her my last cup. With milk and sugar to hide the bitterness of the harsh truth. What a sweet story. He had a thermos of coffee? Why does that surprise me? There's only one thing of any importance here. Where was Godot when the murder was taking place? He must have already been at the inner temple when it happened. Otherwise, he couldn't have killed Elise Deonim. So I need to go back to that last thing. I need to ask him about his investigation. Come on, where you at? Godot's investigation. You said that you conducted an investigation on your own. Did you find anything?
It looks like my investigation went a bit as well as yours, Trait. After all, I did miss the bloody writing on the lantern.
Well, I didn't miss it, so speak for yourself, Goggles.
The only odd thing I discovered was this beauty in the training hall.
Beauty?
Misty Fey Naturally. Clad in her stunning Japanese garb, surrounded by the hue and aroma of Western taste.
Western taste? Where do you find a stranger way to describe gravy?
So, from there you headed for the prep room.
All the dots. Oh boy. Wait a sec. What did Godot just say right now? I think I just found his proverbial weak spot. There's only one thing of any importance here. Where was Godot when the murder was taking place? Wait, so he said something... He said something here. He said something here. I missed it. I missed it. I need to go back. I need to figure out what it was that he said. He said he saw... He decided to carry out his own investigation. And then... He missed the bloody writing on the lantern. And I didn't miss it. The only odd thing I discovered was the beauty in the training hall. Misty Fey. Clad in her stunning Japanese garb, surrounded by the hue and aroma of Western taste. What did Godot just say now? I don't get it. There's gotta be something here. There's gotta be something here. I don't see... I mean, maybe it's the staff? With the sword? No. This was found in the inner temple. It's red, but it's got gold on it. And white. Could he have missed this? He could have missed the dagger as well. There's a couple things here. The most obvious thing is probably her picture, and I don't think it's that. But I need to hear... Does this help me? Because normally he says something that... No, he didn't say anything at all. Well, that's not helpful. So, okay, so it's not the picture. And I just messed that one up. Let me go back to that. Let's see. What else? If it's not the picture, it could be the staff. It's not the staff. It could also be... darn it! Stop doing that, FlightlessBird. Yeah, I'm so psyched up. It could be... No, it's not that. It could be this, or it could be the dagger. No, it's not that. Could be the dagger then? Wait a second. Did he mention Elise Deunim? What if he actually saw Mia Fey? Nope, I guess not. Alright, try the dagger perhaps? No. He found Pearly first and cheered her right up. Wasn't Pearl in the inner temple? So... I don't get it. he said he saw something. Maybe I have to click on him? Because he can't see clearly? No. Oh, what is it I'm missing? Oh, let's go back to this. Come on. So he did his own investigation. I did miss the bloody writing. The only odd thing I discovered was the beauty and the training hall. Beauty? So he questioned beauty there. Misty Faye, naturally. Clad in a stunning Japanese garb, surrounded by the hue and aroma of Western taste. Western taste. Could he... Wait a second. Wait a second. No, I just missed that. There was something there. Hold on. I think I got it. But I clicked off too quickly. No. I think I understand here. Because he says... And Phoenix literally tells me the answer, I'm pretty sure, if I read that correctly. But I need to go back and look at that because I'm... Here. Hue and aroma of Western taste. Western taste. Could you find a stranger way to describe gravy? What did he just say now? So he said Misty Faye, and then he describes gravy. But the thing is... You can't see Misty Faye because the gravy is obscuring the picture. So you would have had to have seen this picture. But this picture would have happened before Pearls blotted out this. Which means he had to have been in the inner temple to see this picture. Could that be it? I think it's it. I think... I'm so excited. I'm pressing the wrong buttons now. I think that's it. That's it. Is it? No. Really? That's not it. But that has to be it. Oh, that's when Mystical arrived. There we go. Yes. All right, feeling good, Mr. Godot. The first time he crossed Dusky Bridge and went into the Inner Temple was long before the murder took place. Oh, the ducks. Oh, why do you say that? Because he just made one fatal slip-up. The hanging scroll in the training hall. The hanging scroll? But, Mr. Godot is right. That scroll shows a picture of my mother. Maya, I know you know who it is, but there's something you don't know. By the time the bridge had been repaired, 2 days after the murder, the hanging scroll in the training hall looked like this. What's that wonderfully delicious smell? How can you smell that through a picture? The morning after the crime, someone covered it with gravy. Gravy? But why gravy, Nick? Because gravy was much more than a condiment to the culprit. Well, Mr. Godot, if you really hadn't seen the hanging scroll until after the murder, you wouldn't have had any way of knowing that was Misty Faye. Exactly. Oh, that's so clever. Oh, wait a minute, Nick. Yes? To take another look at the hanging scroll? Look, at the top. There's a crest there. That is the mark of the master, correct? Exactly. So if you know the meaning of the mark... Well, then you could guess it was a picture of Misty Faye on there. True, but Mr. Godot described what was underneath like this. Clad in our stunning Japanese garb, surrounded by the hue and aroma of Western taste. Oh! There's no way he could have seen the picture. Yes, it's possible he knew what the crest meant. However, he couldn't have known that she was wearing Japanese clothing. Mr. Godot, on the day of the murder, you were hiding at the inner temple long before the crime took place. But why? Why? Can I ask you just one little thing tonight? What is it? This whole theory of yours, it all rests on a certain assumption. That they knew beforehand that the crime was going to be committed. Well, that's right. Otherwise, there's no reason for him to sneak onto the crime scene. All the dots. Of course, Mr. Godot knew about the plan. Huh?
What did you say? Is it really possible that another person knew of the plan?
Is it really possible? I mean, what evidence do we have that the plan was going to happen? The only thing that says the murder was going to happen is the burnt letter, but that was given to Pearls, wasn't it? Or no, it was given to Iris, who then gave it to Pearls. But still, this is the only way you could have known about the plan. But how would he have known about this letter? Like, that doesn't make any sense. It's the only thing I can think of, and I don't know why. This crime was actually planned over a year ago, but how would he have known about it? Doesn't make sense. Morgan Fay altered the plan for her daughter's future, and these instructions were hidden somewhere in Fay Manor for a year. However, by the time little Pearls found these instructions, someone else had found it. They had already been unsealed.
Unsealed?
Yes, the killer had read these instructions long before Pearls had ever found them. That's how we knew the crime was to take place at the inner temple, but how did he find them?
And you still insist this crafty killer is me?
You bet I do.
But you just said that the instructions were hidden.
So that's right. Mr. Godot couldn't have known where the instructions were hidden. If he really wanted to know, he had one great chance to find out.
Yes, and when was that?
During a visit. A visit? Morgan Fay told her daughter, Pearl, about where the instructions were hidden. During one of her visits to the detention center. That would be the only time for someone to have learned where they were hidden.
Eavesdropping on a visit at the detention center?
Yes, it could be arranged if you were someone with easy access in and out of there. Okay, I can understand how that could have happened then. Yeah, I was thinking, how in the world would he have known about the letter? I mean, the letter is the only way you could have known about the crime, but how would he have known? But this does make sense. Like, for example, a prosecutor such as Mr. Godot.
Oh, the estimated dots. Order. I'm Mr. Godot. You're under fire again.
This murder could not have been carried out without prior knowledge. And you were the only one that could have acquired this information before the murder.
Humans are afraid of the dark. And yet, at the same time, we're fascinated and bewitched by it. Maybe that's why humans took the darkness that is cafe.
Early, lots of duds. Sorry for always asking, but what does that exactly mean?
It means that there's a reason for everything. According to your theory, the killer in this case is stopped. On a conversation during a jail visit, we learned of a hidden plan for a crime. After discovering the plans, he hid in the inner temple and waited for the crime to occur. Then he ultimately took a person's life. And he did all of that just to protect this witness.
That's right.
If you're accusing me of this crime, I have to ask you, why would I do this? This girl is nothing but a stranger to me. I've got no reason to go through that kind of trouble to protect her.
No, I think you did, because of Mia. He's actually a hero. How about that? Godot is not a villain, he's a hero.
I am what you see. I'm certainly not the type to rescue the damsel in distress.
I really hope he's a hero, because one part of me is really disliking this case if he's the villain, because that's kind of what happened in case number 4 of game number 1, where Von Karma ended up being, the murderer. But if he's not the murderer and he's a hero, that just took this case on a whole nother level, because now this game is constantly defying all of your expectations. And I really like that if this is true.
The killer's behavior is certainly extreme, for lack of a better word. Even considering that the killer wanted to protect his witness's life, his behavior is still a little too unnatural.
However, you had a good reason, didn't you, Mr. Godot? An unshakable reason that forced you to protect this witness at all costs.
All the dots. I knew it. You figured it out, haven't you, Nick?
Maya, I guess you were doing your best to cover for Godot. For the same reason, huh? Because of Mia.
Okay, Trite. I'm all ears. Let's hear it.
First, I'm gonna save. Yep, going to save. It's very simple. Maya Fey is a lot more than just a stranger to you.
What's this?
There's one person who lies at the very center of this whole story. One person that ties you and Maya Fey together inextricably. There's a very good reason why Maya Fey's life is so precious to you. After all, she is Mia Fey's only sister.
All the exclamated dots. Mia Fey.
You once worked alongside her. That was when you were a defense attorney.
Wait a second here. Whoa. Mr. Godot is a defense attorney?
With your honor's piercing intellect, you must have figured it out by now. The real name of this man who calls himself Godot. His real name is Diego Armando. Isn't that right?
The last time someone called me by that name was over 6 years ago. Diego Armando. Well, that name rings a bell.
It should, your honor. All this is related to a single case. A case in which a convict named Terry Falls killed himself. Mia Fey's first time in court, the tragic outcome left a deep wound in her heart. She knew that behind it all was a heartless, scheming demoness in disguise. But in the end, Mia couldn't tear off that disguise. However, there was one man who reached out to help her. Diego Armando, a senior defense attorney at the office where Mia worked.
It's my fault. It's all my fault that Mr. Falls killed himself. Oh, that's it. Mia, you can't cry yet.
That's hardcore right there.
The only time a lawyer can cry is when it's all over. Oh, the dots. I was moved by her. The way she put all the faith in her clients. That pure, sweet heart of hers. But that's why I could never forgive Dahlia Hawthorne. Mia and I thoroughly investigated that fake kidnapping incident. But then one fateful day, Dahlia wanted to meet with me. It had been 6 months since the trial. We met at the courthouse cafeteria. Oh, I just remembered. 6 years ago, right here in this courthouse, you were poisoned. Even I didn't see it coming. Dahlia Hawthorne slipped some poison into my coffee. Some newspapers at the time called it a murder, but very little information about the case was released to the press.
But you weren't dead at all.
No official reports have actually called it a murder. I was just in a deep coma.
I see.
My body shut down, and my life became nothing but a long, deep sleep. But that woman's poison did a real number on my central nervous system. I lost my sight, and all my hair turned white due to the damage it caused. Well, that's terrible. Apparently, it was a miracle that I ever regained consciousness. 5 years had passed since I drank that poisonous brew. Then, one morning, my eyes flew open from the smell of a director's cup of coffee. For 5 years? You were asleep for 5 years? And the worst possible news was waiting for me. Mia Fey was dead. From the very moment I opened my eyes, I had already lost everything I thought I had. The woman I loved had been murdered, and the woman I loathed had been sentenced to death.
The woman you loothed?
The woman who had spiked my scalding hot coffee, Dahlia Hawthorne. Huh. Good old Mia, she didn't let me down. She got her revenge before she checked out. In the end, there wasn't anyone waiting for me when I woke up.
Well, that's so sad.
For someone like me, for someone who had slept away the best days, there were only 2 reasons left to live. And it was for those 2 reasons I decided to become a prosecutor.
If I may ask, what were your 2 reasons to live?
The first was you, Wright.
Huh? Me?
If I hadn't drank that stupid poison, Mia Fey never would have died, much less the way she did.
All the extra dots?
You were the only one who was there to protect her. But you let her die. It was all your fault.
It wasn't like that.
I want to see for myself what kind of man you really were.
So that's why you became a prosecutor?
My other reason for living. She goes by the name of Maya Fey.
Huh? You mean me?
You were the only way I could make up for the sin of not saving Mia. 1 year ago, when the Crying Village incident was resolved, it was obvious that Morgan Fey was planning something. Whatever evil plan was, I was determined to stop it. My role as a prosecutor put me in a perfect position to do something about her.
Well, that's how you overheard Pearl's visit with Morgan at the detention center.
I knew that the time was drawing near. Since I knew the plan, I thought I could foil it. My goal was to outwit the plan. I thought if I could do that, I could keep that girl from being caught up in it.
That makes sense. If Pearl had known that the actual purpose of the plan was to kill Maya, she never would have helped out.
Finally, the day of the plan was drawing near. I contacted both of my accomplices.
Your accomplices?
Iris of Hazakura Temple and Misty Fey. I especially needed the help of Iris. She was to take the fall of my backup plan in case we couldn't control Pearl Fey.
But how did you contact my mother?
She had been missing.
She had been missing for almost 20 years. Yeah, I thought that was Godot speaking.
Officially, yes.
What? What do you mean officially? Witness protection?
You've heard about it, haven't you? About the strong ties between the main family and the government.
Now that you mention it, Begane did say something to that effect. She said that the Master of Crying had great authority.
Even without her official position, Misty Fey still wielded great influence. The police have been keeping an eye on her movements all this time. But that's how I was able to contact her. Again, because of my position as a prosecutor.
So my mother was cooperating with you?
Don't ever forget. No matter how far away from you she was, she never stopped thinking about you.
She was always...
Well, that's why. I knew she would do anything to protect you. If you want to know how strong her resolve to protect you was, look at her staff.
Her staff? The one with the sword in it?
The day the plan was to be carried out arrived soon enough. We met for the first time at Hazakura Temple. Well, that's when your mother showed me her special staff. I realized it then, just how far she was willing to go. She was ready to use that sword to protect you from Morgan Fey if necessary. Yes, even if it meant paying the ultimate price.
My mother! Poor girl.
Well, that night of the crime, there was just one way to stop Morgan's evil plan.
You mean Pearl's, don't you?
We had to make sure she did channel Dahlia Hawthorne.
Well, Pearl, what are you going to do tonight?
If you'd like, you can come to my room. Perhaps we can read some books together. We thought we could prevent her from playing her part in Morgan's plan. But she never showed up.
She was worried and followed me to the inner temple.
Well, that was the thing we were most afraid of. And that's why Misty Faye had to do the channeling herself. She channeled Dahlia Hawthorne into her own body.
What? What do you mean? If she channeled the spirit first, then Pearls wouldn't be able to do it herself. All the exclamated dots?
As Master Crying, my Misty Faye's power was supreme. So that's how it went down. She channeled Dahlia Hawthorne so that Pearl Faye wouldn't be able to. What? Is this true? My role in the plan was to make sure no one was going to hurt Maya Faye. Well, that's why I hid myself at the inner temple. Just in case you needed to be saved from Dahlia Hawthorne.
Godo.
Anyway, well, that's all I'm going to admit to, Trite.
Huh?
Well, there's no doubt about it. You're a great defense attorney. But you're going to have to do the rest yourself.
Well, the background leading up to this incident has been laid bare.
There's just one question remaining, Mr. Wright. Who killed the victim?
There are only two possible suspects right now.
Maya Faye, and I'm sad to say, you, Mr. Godo. Well, Trite, if you're the real deal, then finish this thing once and for all.
It's gotta be Godo, right? He did to save Maya.
Show us beyond a shadow of a doubt that you can finish this on your own.
No, Nick, but please don't. Maya. I heard the whole thing from my sister in the medical office. That's why I have to protect Mr. Godo. All the dots. I can't do it. I can't testify against him. After all, he's the man who put his life on the line to protect Mia. And me too. Yeah, I forgot. Mia told Maya the whole story. I had totally forgotten about that. Maya, I know that. Yeah, Nick. But even so, it doesn't absolve him of his crime. Please, Maya, testify. Oh, the exclamated dots.
Miss Faye, your testimony, please.
This is the final testimony. Don't bother trying to hide anything, because I'll know. I want to hear the truth from your own lips. All the dots. I understand. I'm sure you're right. I'm ready now, Nick. The final testimony.
Alright, young lady, tell us about the moments before you lost consciousness. What exactly happened at the time of the murder?
Are you ready, my friends? 2 games. Was it like, I don't know, 150 parts? This is it. The time of the murder. Just before it happened, I think I saw some red lights. 3 of them. I thought I asked for help, but just then I was splattered with blood. She wasn't dead though, and she struck back at the enemy behind her. Suddenly, the red lights went out and the whole area was dark. Just at that moment, there was a horrible scream. Right after that, Dahlia collapsed and I lost consciousness. Alright. So, basically, Godo was there, and then there was a back and forth, and then something happened.
Those red lights, I thought you said you don't remember seeing them.
I'm sorry. I thought I saw them. But then they disappeared all of a sudden. That's weird. Weird.
Ha! Takes a break, Trike. Even the best of theories.
All the dots.
Who was it that stabbed Misty Faye? It looks like you still can't prove it.
Maya's telling the truth this time, I know it. The rest is up to me. And are pressing.
Well then, Mr. Wright, proceed with your final cross-examination of the witness.
Time of the murder. Just what happened, I think I saw some red lights, 3 of them. Lights shining in the dark. I don't think you can make a mistake about that. Yeah, you're right. I think I saw them, but I can't say for certain. And I can't tell you for sure that they were from Mr. Godo's mask either. I don't get the feeling she's coming for him anymore, but Press harder. But just after that, you turned towards the light and called for help? Isn't that because you thought the lights were coming from Mr. Godot's mask? Yeah, I guess so. Maybe that's what I was thinking at the time. But I can't remember after all. There was a person I couldn't identify in front of me. Maya's life was in terrible danger at the time. There's no way she can remember the details of the scene perfectly. Thank you for everything, my friends. I appreciate you all so very much, but we're gonna have to stop here. The part just a little bit too long, so I'm gonna have to cut it up, but do not worry. Tomorrow, the conclusion, the finale, the last turnabout to the Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trilogy will be here. And I hope you stay tuned for that because it is gonna be amazing, wonderful, just, I can't wait. I can't wait to dive into this with you all. And yeah, thank you for everything again. Until then, so long, and take care. Thank you for watching this video. Feel free to comment on what you saw and what you would like to see next. I always love to hear your thoughts. Please be sure to like and subscribe for more. Also, please do not forget, you matter. You are brilliant and you are loved. And you should always remember to be true to yourself. Don't let the world tell you any different. Much love to you from your friendly feathered flightless bird. Till next time.